there's some strategy and tactics if you want to be successful. That's back to that, understand what it is you're trying to achieve. Most presentations absolutely don't have that. Oh, hey, look at this PowerPoint, clickety, clickety, click. And then, and you practice it, you sound good to yourself, like
Right.
when you record it, like we're talking about, you should, but it's not a conversation. It's a script, and these aren't script because you don't know what their concerns really are. You might have an idea, you can anticipate, okay, if they say this, I'm going to do this. One of the cards I plan myself every day is this: anticipate. It's an anticipation card. Okay, so if they say this along the way, that way I can respond. Like I already know what to do. I don't have to react like, oh, I don't know what to do. Hail Mary, grasp both straws. Anyway, so back to the point. The conversation is a leading conversation, seeking key issues along the way, yes or no, and go back and listen to the 15 minutes of film here to get all those details. But this will change everything. And I know people say it changes everything. Well, this actually does.
Yes, it does.
You know what? And one more thing. And then you can actually have fun with it, right? You can actually have, when you become a master, not a master, because I don't think you ever master anything, but when you get really good at it, now you can play with it. You know what you're doing. You own the game, right? You own the game. You're not just grasping at straws like the typical salesperson. You're really good at this. What you start controlling the game when you take ownership and
Mhm.
understanding this stuff.
Builds confidence, builds credibility.
Uh,
I mean, because then when people are dealing with you, they go, I mean, we're in the money business, right? So we handle people's transactions. You want to know the person handling your transactions is like on their game, right? So, that builds that with your client. They go, this guy knows his business because he
yeah,
handled me properly. We all get
right.
handled. Like I like when a salesperson handles me properly because it makes it
Yes.
easier up here for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Right. 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 Yeah,
yeah,
it's important to right. That's a really good point. The whole flip side of it's not just me manipulating you, leading you.
right.
It's like let's make sense of this. Let me help
Mhm.
you find what's best here for you.
Well, you're the
And
expert. You're the expert
well,
in
yeah,
what I'm trying to buy. You need to help me make sense of this. You need to guide me along by asking the right questions, tying me down, making sure I understand, and then it gives me confidence in you. If you don't know how to direct me, how are you going to know how to direct the business that I need from you? That's I think the
exactly.
subconscious things that go on with
Right.
people.
Yeah, it's in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's so exactly right on. Lead me properly so that
Yeah.
I feel that inside I start trusting you,
Well, and
right?
how many times you heard me say this, like when we've been talking about scenarios we've gone through, it's like, why are you making it difficult for me to do business with you?
Yeah, right, right,
Why are you doing that?
right.
You should be making
Just
it easy for me to do business with you. You should take all my thinking out of it by guiding me through this process. And anyway, I'll quit
yeah.
belaboring that, but I
No,
see
but
it
it's
every
so
day.
true, and that's right, but people don't, and they come up with these questions that
Hmm.
we just had, which is a good question, and
Right.
everybody who's selling anything should be asking the same thing. It's because 98% of everybody selling things runs into the same thing. And
Mhm.
there's so much going on that they had a long question. And it's like, okay, well, and I started by saying, well, you painted yourself in a corner.
Yeah.
And they did because but they don't even understand how they got there.
Right.
So that the stuff we just talked about is so important to understand your game. And it's not just a game. I'm not trying to be trivial about that, or you're trying to take advantage of somebody. You're really doing the right thing for them by getting them the right thing, by asking these right questions. And if they do need it and they need the right thing, well, ask them do your best to understand the right questions to ask,
Right.
understand the psychology of this process if you want to be good at it.
Yeah. Well,
If you
yeah.
want to have success and this is all about freedom, right? The challenge of being free, the challenge of using this, things opportunities that you have to build a life where you have a more free life. And so if you're going to be free, then you need to understand the keys that unlock freedom along the way. And this is a huge one that I've never seen anybody cover it well enough. And I think the things that we just talked about covered extremely well.
I agree.
Well, I know they do. And they solved most of it. Now you just have to use it and go, okay, because you're not going to have it all figured out right away. You're going to have to start experimenting with that. And the further you get, the more the lights come on, the more the lights come
Right.
on. And pretty soon you're really good at it and you're going, oh, and then you can't see doing it the old
Right. Yeah.
fashioned
Well, it
way.
doesn't, it
You,
becomes natural. It's just the way you start.
yeah,
And what I would recommend everybody, if you want to hone these skills, I'm a big advocate of honing the skills outside of the sales process. Like, I don't want to wait until I'm in front of somebody and I need to pay my rent or my mortgage or my car payment or whatever and try to hone the skill. Do this in all your communication. And what you'll
yeah,
find is that all your communication all of a sudden becomes easier with people.
uh-huh.
And then your life becomes easier. Then you become happier because your life becomes easier.
Yeah. Well, and so you can do it everywhere, right? Like conversations with the person ringing your stuff up at the grocery store.
Yeah.
The person that you talk to next. Like try it. Right? Everybody goes, well, wait until later, and exactly. Well, when I'm really in a bind, then I'll try it. Well, okay, but well, then it's too late, and you're not good at it.
Right.
But if you when you start right away, the next person that you talk to, test it out. And you
Mhm.
go, holy cow, this actually does work, because when you ask questions, they actually answer them.
Right.
And you go, it's like, ooh, it does work.
Yeah, it
It
does.
works. It works.
Makes for an easier existence, man. I tell you,
Yeah,
less
crying
of
out loud.
this.
Makes for a more free feeling life,
Yes.
right? You can start experiencing the essence of freedom in how you converse, like with the next person you talk to.
100%. 100%. You mean like in the sales
Well,
process?
I think they're always all things are the same, but there's subtle differences. That's why, like, I often will think, well, if I dropped into the selling private jets business, I don't know how to sell a private jet. Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
I know that there's certain things I need to touch base along the way. I just have, I know that, let me say it differently. I know that there are about 4 key issues along the way that I have to touch base on. It doesn't matter what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Now it's just specifically what is it? And always the one of the things we have to always touch base on is time frame. Always touch base on time frame. And then the others are custom, but not. They're little tie downs and they're always closed ended. Does that make sense? It's just okay. So you want the white-tailed deer upholstered on the back of the chairs on each of the seats in your private jet.
Mhm.
Okay. If I can do that, okay. Then we move. Okay. So if I can get that, then we can put the order in.
The old
Okay.
if I could, would you? Hey, if I could do
Yeah.
this, would you be interested? Yes, I would be interested in the white-tailed deer seats in my private jet. And then I like to find out, oh, just out of curiosity, why do you want? And then they tell you this story, and I'm just listening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
as I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
listening, I'm just picking up data the whole time. You're getting some insight to their psyche, if you will. And
Yeah.
then once
Well,
I know that, it's easier to ask. Then I know the right questions to ask. Because see, we used to have a sign back when we first got going. We had a sign. We were hiring a bunch of new sales partners, internal salespeople, and we always had a sign that said, "It's all about them." Make it all about them. See, I think a lot of salespeople go into this sales process and they're only thinking about themselves and getting the sale. You have to block all that out. And I read an article one time. You guys know who Tiger Woods is, right? Anyway, but so he's like the best
Woods.
Tiger Woods. So I read an article one time.
Chuck, I call him El Tigre. Like when I'm with him,
That's true. You and
you
LT
know,
Gray hanging out,
yeah,
cruising the beaches and,
yeah,
talking shop. But they asked him, like, how do you stay calm when you're standing over this putt? And if you miss this putt or make it, it's the difference between like $500,000 or $250,000 or whatever. And he says, and granted, he had a lot of money at this time, but I'm kind of thinking he probably thought this way before too. He goes, I never think about that. I don't think about that. I think about making the putt. I don't think about what it means financially to me to make the putt or not make the putt. You have to
right,
be present. Okay. So like in the sales process, being present is catering to your client, not catering to whatever you've got going on behind the face here. You got to make it all about them. And if you can do that and block all that other stuff out and make it about them and ask the right questions and do the tie downs, if I could, would you? I mean, we could talk sales process for 4 days straight, all the little
yeah,
nuances of it all. But the first thing is get out of your head, make it about them, and ask the right questions, learn everything you can about them through discovery and tie them down along the way. And you will see a dramatic difference in your numbers that you're posting.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes a part of you. You become more present in the sales process than you are about thinking about the future or what happened 2 days ago. You got to just be present.
Yeah, sort of a flow in that. Like
Yeah.
when it is, we have a sales piece called About Them. Our sales piece is absolutely not about us. It's all
Yeah.
about them, asking them like, well, what, all kinds of about them, so we understand them. And we brought up the white-tailed deer, right? The embroidered on the private jet seat. And so you made a good point. Like, okay, here you can learn a lot about them, because most people would totally miss that
Yeah.
opportunity to ask about the white-tailed deer.
Right.
So you can go, okay, so if we can get that, yeah, then we can move forward today. I probably before that, if we're talking about white-tailed deer embroidery on the private jet seats, I go, why white-tailed deer? They go, oh man, my passion, da 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 da. I go, so would you use this jet to go hunting more?
Mhm.
Where would you go, man? What would you do? We'd have all kinds of conversation about white-tailed deer hunting.
Right.
And I go, oh man, my grandpa used to, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
So now we're rolling, and like, I know more about them. And I go, you know what? We maybe want to get an extra fuel tank in this, because what if you want to go up to the Arctic Circle? I heard that, have you ever been, hunting the majestic albino white?
Right.
There's all kinds of conversation. You go, and then, pretty soon you just got to get back on track and get the paperwork done. But and when you take a sincere interest in that, it brings up a lot of conversation, and it's sincere interest. And you go, well, what about that?
Mhm.
And they start telling you more about them. And when they're telling you about a white-tailed deer hunt that they went on in Saskatchewan not long ago, and it was so cold, man. And then right as the sun was going down, and I didn't think I was going to get a deer, one walkthrough is like, oh man. And they're reliving that, something that makes them excited. They're reliving that. And now they're tying, we talk about psychology,
They're
right? They're tying
attaching
that
it.
experience
Yep.
to attaching it to you.
Yep.
Right. And nobody asks them this stuff. Nobody. Except the people that are really interested in getting free, right? But it's not like Chuck said. We're not doing this to get free in the moment. We're doing it because we're sincerely interested. Oh, how'd that go? How'd that happen? And yeah,
And
now
even
I
if
know
you're a
all.
member of PETA, you better want to know all about white-tailed deer hunting if you're trying to sell
Yeah,
this guy
yeah.
a private
You're gonna,
jet.
yeah. It's like, you aren't going to go, well, I don't like that. You're going to go, oh, well, that's, maybe you'd ask them a different question.
Right. And
I
even
don't.
if you don't like
I'm
it,
not.
don't you want to understand? Like, I want to understand. Like, I'm either way into it with you, or I'm just like a super inquisitive
Yeah,
student.
I'm just interested in it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.